Hello, and welcome to a video where I'm actually speaking for a change. This was originally going to be a build showcase, but after recording it, I played a few more games and realized it was not nearly as good as I thought it was. So instead, this is going to be a sort of discussion video. And the topic of the discussion is going to be hex perks, and my idea on how to rework them into a better feeling system. This isn't to make hexes stronger or weaker, it's just to make them feel more pleasant to use. The starting idea is that they will be split into two categories, special hexes and the normal hexes. Special hexes are the hexes that require some sort of special spawn requirement. This would be like Noed or Plaything. I'm drawing a blank on another one. Two can play. The normal hexes are the ones that are just there at the start of the match. Throw the Hunt, Blood Favor, Crowd Control, Undying. With this in mind, if you start a match with at least one normal hex, it will not be there at the start of the match. Instead, all dual totems within 64 meters of your starting location would become highlighted. And the killer has to manually walk over there to light it, similar to how you would light a Pentimento totem. If you have more than one basic hex, all of those hexes are now applied to that totem. So if you bring Thrill the Hunt, Undying, Blood Favor, and Crowd Control, all four of those hexes will be on that totem. Now, totem cleansing speed does not change, so if the survivor finds that one totem on the map and removes it, you're still losing all your perks. But now, you're not trying to defend four totems across the entire map. You're not wondering which totem is which, because you know exactly what is on that totem. The second part of this is, now hexes will also be able to be replaced. After a 1 minute cooldown per hex, you will be able to see dual totems again, and once you see those dual totems, you can reignite a new hex. The caveat to this is, if you have a hex that requires tokens, like Huntress Lullaby or Devour Hope, all those tokens will be lost. You will have to start over from scratch, unless you are using Undying. Undying bypasses the cooldown, retains the tokens, and will move the hex to a random totem like it does now. This only works once. This only works once, but because it's a hex, it will still apply the cooldown to the other hexes. Special hexes will retain some of these benefits. They will, well, their requirements don't change. However, in order to activate them, the killer must be able to replicate the initial action again. And I phrase it this way so Noed can't come back and neither can Plaything. Noed requires exit gates to be powered, which happens only once per game, and the killer cannot replicate that. Plaything only works on the initial first hook, so it will not proc on the second hook. And due to some weird shenanigans, I have actually seen that happen in the current game. Somehow, somebody got first hook when all the totems were full, then they were put on second hook when one dual totem was left, and they never got their Plaything. For some weird caveats and extra rules, just to keep things fair, Haunted Ground will add an extra minute to its cooldown and the cooldown of all other hexes. This is because once that totem is gone, if you bring Haunted Ground by itself, it's not really much of a hex anymore. That is just a rotating expose perk. Because it lasts for 1 minute. If it had a 1 minute cooldown, you could put it back as soon as the cooldown was gone. So I'm doubling the timer just to make it, a little more punishing because of how strong that effect is. So if you were to bring Haunted Ground and 3 other hex perks, you are now looking at a 5-minute cooldown without perks. special hexes and normal hexes would have different cooldowns. So if you had Thrill the Hunt and 2 can play for whatever reason, if 2 can play is cleansed, and then 30 seconds later, I forgot the other one I said, if the other one is cleansed, then 30 seconds later, 2 can play could be reactivated, or at least start building charges up again. Demento would function pretty much as it does exactly now. Nothing changes for Pentimento. Not even the cooldown, although maybe it should add a minute cooldown to other hexes. Either way, it only works once you once you reignite a totem, unless the survivor blesses it and you cleanse that blessing, no other hex can go on that totem. An interesting thing about Undying is, because it's a normal hex, you could theoretically sit on it all game long, and as soon as they pop that final gen, you could go put Undying down to cover Noed, giving Noed a second chance at life. For those of you who might say that is overpowered, bear in mind, you would be playing the entire match with 2 perks, because Undying and Noed would be giving you nothing. Yeah, I think that's everything. I don't have a script in front of me, so if I forgot something, I'm screwed. Alright, I will take the rest of this time to make a small announcement. Starting sometime in August, I'm going to be trying to recreate the slugging experiment. For those of you who don't know what that is, it was an experiment run by the content creator Carniverous. In the following months, some people have made reaction videos and pointed out some glaring issues with the initial experiment. Primarily the lack of consistency and certain rule sets that were in place. For example, there were no set perks, some people were applying additional challenges to their games, some people were complaining about the MMR differences because Carniverous had 50 plus different people helping her do this. And hopefully the rule set I came up with helps address all of these concerns, because I will be doing this all by myself. I will have to be recording well over 400 games of DBD. This is gonna suck. I'm not sure why I'm doing this. But yeah, you have that to look forward to. I think that's all I really have to say, other than I'm going to be trying to speak a lot more in my videos from now on. And I hope you have a wonderful day.